The week 7 data contribution assignment from the perspective of team member number 6. So start at the course homepage and click on the Excel keyboard shortcuts. We'll come back to that in a minute. Control Tab to get back to D2L. And then Assessment Assignments. Go down to the week 7 data contribution and click it. So in this class, we're going to be working mostly independently to rough out your portion of a family's lifetime financial plan. Later in class, we're going to be fine-tuning it as a team. So if you scroll down, the team member number 6 is responsible for the house, the car, the household expenses, and the bank account. So click into that to see them all. And the first step is to open the week 7 XLSX file from our team folder. So you could open this from File Explorer or from Excel through Open and then OneDrive, but I'm just going to do it this way. And I've already logged in, that's why it didn't ask me to log in. And so if I go to my team folder and go down to week 7 XLSX and hit the triple dot, then choose Open, and we're going to open up in the app in Excel. So in this one, the other team members have already done theirs, but even if they didn't, your work will still work, and the numbers will be updated when you put in the formulas. The numbers will be updated once they've done their work. So I'm going to go Alt-Tab to get back to Chrome, and then Shift-Control-Tab to get back to D2L. So we're going to be making the word housing in V1 and equity in W1, and then we're going to be using Copilot to make the formula under housing is going to be the mortgage payments. And mortgage payments are done every 2 weeks, but we're going to have a year's worth every row. You'll notice that every row has a different year. And equity is if you ever sell the thing, how much money you're going to get. And that's going to be a combination of how much of your mortgage you've paid off that you've built up in equity, but it's also going to be the price of the house, because the house goes up about 5% per year. Actually, that's not how much it goes up. It goes about 6.36% per year growth rate. So these are the prompts, or the points for the prompt to make these two formulas, both the payments and the equity. These are the ones that I got when I ran it through Microsoft Copilot, and you can compare them. And here's an explanation of the ones that I got. Then we're going to be autofilling this down for 25 lines because it's a 25-year mortgage. We're going to be formatting all the columns that you're working with, which is V to AA, all with accounting format. We're going to have a column called car, where we're going to be leasing a car, and we're going to cite where we got the lease from in cell X1. We're going to hyperlink to that website. And then after a 5-year lease, we're going to get another lease, but we don't know what that is yet, but we assume that the price is going to increase by inflation. And you might wonder, how can a word be in an Excel formula? And the answer is because of a named cell. Team member 1 made cell B80, which is 2.5%, named inflation. So we can now use that in the formula. It's very convenient, and we'll autofill that down to the rest of their lives. And we're also going to keep track of what are we doing, car 1 or car 2, car 3, like which after the first 5 years of car 1, we're going to change to a different car 2. We can keep track of that in car type. And then household, this is where we're going to find the expenses initially for 2 people, and then later after 2026 they're going to have twins, and those twins are going to stay with them for a long time until they move out. So the household for that. And then we're going to have a bank account, and we're going to start off with $2,000 in the bank, and then the formula, and then after that, whatever it was before, plus the same formula, their income minus their expenses, and autofill that to the end. So the shortcuts, we're going to sometimes go into a cell to paste a formula, so F2 to go into the cell. Copy, Control C, paste, Control V, paste without formatting, Control Shift V. We're going to go to specific cells, Control G. We're going to go down to the end of an area, or a section of cells, control arrow. We're going to go control home sometimes. A1 is usually where that goes, control home, but because we have our first column frozen, which are the years, and the top row frozen, which are the column headers, it goes to the first movable cell, and that's B2. Then we're going to move around with arrows to different cells or page down for 35 cells at a time or 35 rows at a time. Autofill, control D, autofill down. We're going to select whole columns, in this case to format them with the accounting format with control space. We're going to select areas to autofill, shift arrow or shift page down. And then we're going to go to in Chrome, we're going to go to the next tab, control T, or the previous tab, shift control tab. So control tab, shift control tab, make a new tab, control T, and go to the address bar to be able to copy it, control L. We're going to go between Excel and Chrome, two different programs with Alt tab. And we're going to make some column heads, which are going to be a little bit big. We're going to make them bigger to accommodate them, Alt HOI. We're going to hyperlink some cells, control K, the car cell and also the household cell, like where we're getting this stuff from. And then formatting cells, control 1, like the accounting format. So let's go control tab to get back to our instructions. And let's put housing. I'm going to copy that phrase, control C, into V1. So alt tab and control G, V1, enter, and then shift control V and pasted housing. Alt tab, and then want equity in the next one. Alt tab again. I'm just going to type it in, equity, enter. Now I'm going to put these, I'm going to copy this prompt, control C, and I'm going to launch Microsoft Copilot because I have 365. I have Copilot as part of it. I'm going to paste my prompt and up it goes. And still building. Okay, it's done. Now I could normally use copy if there was just one, but there's two formula here. So I'm going to select and copy the first one, the payment one, including the equal, and control C, alt tab, and go into housing. So I'm in V2, and F2 to go into the cell, control V, enter. There it is. And then alt tab, and then the equity, I'm going to start right at the beginning and select that whole thing, control C, alt tab, going to go to W2, F2, control V, enter. And I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to autofill them down to line 26. So I went hold down shift, I went page down. That got me close to 18. And I'm just going to arrow down the rest of the way to 26 and control D. There. And so I pay $88,725.68 a year for my house, and equity by the end of the 25 years, I'm going to have $649,000 in equity. Okay, so now I'm going to have V and W. I'm going to hold down, start in V and shift and go across to AA because that's where we want. Shift, control tab. I'm going to, I've now done step 6. I'm going to format the whole column to accounting with no decimal places and no symbols, alt tab. So I'm holding down shift, start in V and go to AA, and now control space selects the entire columns. You might say, but we don't want the first row to be accounting. Well, text labels in the first row, the text, it won't damage, it's allowed in accounting. And so now I'm going to go control 1 for my formatting, tab, go down to accounting, tab again, 0 decimal places, tab, and none is the default, but if it wasn't, you just use arrows to go up to none, enter, and then OK as a blue line, enter. There. Okay, so I've done housing and equity. Now car payment. So X1 is going to be car, and alt tab, and I'm going to go find a car. So control T to a new tab, and lease car Calgary. And I'm going to go down to Honda, and I'm going to go new vehicle, and you can pick whatever one you want, but I'm going to do this one. Here's one. Here's a good one. And I'm going to go lease, and it's 167.79 per week. So I'm going to copy that, go back here, I'm going to go down, equal, Control V, and I'm going to multiply that if it's per week, 52 weeks in a year. Look at that, it's about the same as my mortgage. And then I'm going to equal whatever that is, enter, and then I'm going to copy. Actually, I can just do the same thing. All 5 years, Control D. So I got that for 5 years. And then I'm also going to go Control L to get up to the where I got this from, and Control C to copy that, Alt Tab. And up in X1, I'm going to go Control K for a hyperlink, and Control V. There, that's hyperlinked. Now, for the following years, I'm going to go Alt Tab to get back to Chrome, Control Tab to get back to D2L, is whatever it was on X2, this formula, times 1 plus inflation. So copy that, Alt Tab, and I'm going to go Control down, and then down, single arrow down, and then F2, Control V, enter. And then I'm going to autofill that all the way down. I'm going to go hold down Shift all the way down to 77, page down, page down, page down, page down. And then I'm going to arrow down to line 77, Control D, because I'm going to buy a car the whole life. Alt Tab. So I've done that step 7.4. Now I'm on to car type. In Y1, select that, copy it, Alt Tab, Control G, Y1, enter, Shift Control V, enter. And I'm going to type a 1 in Y2, 1, enter. And then I'm going to format it so it says lease and then whatever number it is. So I'm going to go back up to that. I'm going to go Control 1, Tab, down into categories and go down to custom, Tab, and I'm going to put it full quotations, lease, space, close quotation, and then 0. And then there's any digit I can put in there, enter. So lease 1, and that's going to go down for the first 5 years, Control D. And then I'm going to go down below this, and I'm going to have the formula equals Y2 plus 1. So equals whatever is this number plus 1. Oh, and it didn't have the same formatting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to autofill this one down, and then I'm going to, now it's the right formatting. Now I'm going to put the formula equal Y2 plus 1. There, now it's the right format, and I'm going to go the same thing. Hold down Shift, it's going to autofill all the way down, page down, page down, page down, and then while I'm still holding Shift, arrow down, Control D. So 16 cars by the time I'm 100 years old. They probably will not let me drive then, but okay, I went Control Home. Now I'm going to go, let's see, Alt Tab. Now I'm going to put the word household. I'm going to copy that in Z1. Control C, Alt Tab, Control G, Z1, enter, and then Shift Control V. And that one is a little bit too big, spilling over to A1, so Alt HOI. And household expenses, I'm supposed to cite something. So Alt Tab, so I'm going to go Control T, and I'm going to put in cost of living in Calgary. And go down here is a good one. So for a family, so I don't have a family of 4 yet. I will. So I'm going to say for a single person, it's $1,500.05. So the first year is this. So Alt Tab, and then equal, Control V, oops, Control Z. Did I not copy this? Control C, Control V, good. Times that by 2. Oh, because I had to get rid of the comma. I just went, okay, because I didn't want to get rid of the comma. So that's what it is. And then I'm going to, initially, I know that in the second year, they're going to have children. I'll deal with that in a minute. But what the instructions say is to make a formula to increase by inflation. So I'm going to make this formula, Control C, Alt Tab, so down here, F2, Control V, Enter, and then I'm going to go back up there. I'm going to hold down Shift, autofill it all the way down, page down, page down, page down, to line 77, Control D. Then go to Z27 and copy and paste over itself as a value, because that is where the kids leave home. So line 27, right here, Control C, Shift, Control V. So that one is frozen. It's no longer a formula. Now I can change the formula up here to be what it is for a family of 4. So Shift, Control, Tab, that is this amount. Control C, and although that'll change slightly in 2026, I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to go F2 and get rid of all this stuff and go Control V, Enter, Enter, get rid of the comma. And that one is automatically, the one right below that is, oops, just make Control Z. I want to do that way up here. This is where I want to do that. F2, backspace, Control V, Enter, yes. Then, so notice the one right below that is looking at the one right above it for that number. And that works all the way, growing gradually until we hit number 27 where the kids leave home. And then there's a drop because I'm back to 2 people and I just froze over that. So there's my household is done. Control Tab. Now I'm going to do my, oh, and I got a site where I got that from. So Alt Tab, Shift, Control Tab, Control L, Control C, Alt Tab, and end up, and then Control K, Control V, Enter. So there's my household expenses. Alt Tab, and then Control Tab, and then we're going to go on bank in AA1. Just going to copy that. Alt Tab, Shift, Control V, and the formula for the first one is $2,000 plus my income minus all these expenses. Control C, and so F2, Control V, Enter, and then the Alt Tab. The next one is whatever it was in the cell before, AA2, plus the same expensive, Control C, F2, Control V, Enter. And then I'm going to go to that last one that I copied, and I'm going to go hold down Shift and page down, page down, page down, page down. Oops. Arrow up to 77, Control D. And it's not wide enough, those pound signs, so Alt HOI to make it wide enough. And we're done. I just